Okay guys, it is the 9th of June. Yes, it's just one of those days where I'm making videos and fucking around having fun. Yesterday I received, just as was told by me by Roxanne, the lovely Deputy Registrar from the Wellington District Court, who I was speaking to on the phone, she sent me the paperwork for me to sign as agreed. My only concern is that she signed here, and granted she hasn't printed her name under it, and whoopty shit, you know, I can tell by the other piece of paper that's with it that that's her signature, that's Roxanne Talufia or whatever her name is, no offence intended. So on this two places here where you get to sign, it says Deputy Registrar, and the other spot there, alright, the other spot there says employee. Now, I myself suffer trigeminal neuralgia and ice-pick migraines, which kind of makes it hard to have any sort of employable hours because I never know when I'm going to be hit by another seizure. But the interesting bit of this is that if I'm unemployed or an invalid, legally speaking, or my person is an invalid, legally speaking, who's employing me? Will this not get me in trouble if I sign employee? You know, so I think it warrants a phone call. I know it's probably semantics and one might say it's argumentative, but yes, I am clearing it up. So of course it's argumentative, because if I know if I put my signature on here that I could be held in trouble. So, you know, I don't want to sign without prejudice because that could get myself in trouble again. I do want to accept the agreement. I just want to know why I'm signing on the dotted line where it states employee when I'm clearly, in the legal sense, a beneficiary. Alright. Anyway, let's give them a call. It says on the cover sheet here, where it does say Roxanne Tafanai, her name and who she is and her signature, which I've matched to the other one. It says to contact the contact centre on 0800 434637. So that's what I'm going to do. Just because I have that question. I'm not going to be a prick. 434637. Talk.
You have reached the Ministry of Justice. Your call will be recorded for verification and training purposes.
Fantastic.
You may like to visit our website, www.justice.govt.nz, for further information, including how to pay online. Otherwise, please select from one of the following options. If your call is about a fine, press 1. If you are calling about civil enforcement orders,
Hi Cherie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry for the wait.
No, that's alright, it was groovy music. You don't know who the artist was, do you?
No, sorry, I don't. I was actually wondering what kind of music we had.
It's very, very jazzy. It's, you know, if you're asleep in a jazz room or something, that'd be perfect.
Nice. How can I help you today?
I rang up on the 4th of June, I think it was, and spoke to Roxanne, a Deputy Registrar in Wellington. And we made an agreement over an allotment of benefits, and she sent me out the paperwork, which is all dandy, which I thank you for. The PPN number I'll give you for a start off
Yep.
is one.
Thank you. Full name and date of birth, please.
Full name of the person is Mark Donald Eric Keane. Date of birth is purportedly the... So Mum tells me.
Okay, and I'm speaking with...
A man called Mark.
This is you, Mark.
Yes.
So how can I help you today?
I am asking because basically it's this paper that's being sent off to the manager of Ministry of Social Development. It's where she signed it there, that's all fine and dandy. But where she's left it blank there for me to sign, it states employee. And I'm not an employee, my person's classed as an invalid. So
No, that's all right.
is that not going to get me in trouble saying I'm an employee when I'm unemployed?
No.
Yeah, we-
Have a look.
If you know what I mean, it's just in brackets.
Yeah.
It states her title, but
And it's just the way that they've worded it, okay? But
so it's just the
you need
wording.
to sign that, okay?
Yeah. So I'm supposed to sign where it says employee then.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know it's really weird how they've said that, you know.
Oh, I just didn't want to drop myself in it, and I thought if I signed it without prejudice, then that makes the document felt void anyway. So that's not going to get me anywhere. So I best find out why I'm classed as an employee. So
It's just a standard, you know, letter that we send, and they understand what it is, and you know, it should read client. Do you know what I mean? But
well, yeah, because technically with the beneficiary, you're classed as a client, one that's seeking professional assistance in some fashion. So, yeah, I get that. So it just seems strange. Perhaps it's just the employed people mainly that need allotments.
I think so.
Or it could be the beneficiaries that get attachment orders on their benefits, whereas, you know, I sort of rung up and made an offer instead of waiting for an attachment order.
Yeah, no, that is so cool, and that's really good for doing that.
Yeah, well, hey.
Just sign it, send it back so it can start at the $10 per week, okay, Mark?
Choice.
Okay.
Hey, thanks. You have a great day, eh?
Oh, can I just quickly update again? So
Sure. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Contact phone number.
Is confidential.
Okay, yeah. And you're still on the benefit. Excellent.
Awesome.
All done.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye, Mark.
Bye. See what I mean? You can be really nice. You have pleasant times, pleasant phone conversations. Don't have to scream down people's throats. And if you know the lingo, you know, she got what I was saying. I know why it says employee, and I know why. Because we're all employees of the company called New Zealand when we're acting through our person collecting a benefit or profit of that company. So that's how that works. But I knew that, and she's quite right. As if I'm acting through my person as a beneficiary collecting said benefit, then it should say client. But because I'm not acting in that client capacity, that's why it says employee. I'm acting in an employee capacity, one that's receiving the benefit, not one that's applying for the benefit. I've lowered once you've applied for that benefit, you've lowered yourself from being that, well, not so much lowered yourself, but you've changed your status from being that of just a person on New Zealand to being a person in New Zealand receiving the benefits and duties, obligations, responsibilities and all the rest of the trimmings and bells and whistles. Alright? You know, I've got some good calls coming up too. I've decided that seeing the Citizens Advice Bureau, the legal counsel that I rang up, that criminal attorney, seeing they all say, you know, contact your local Minister of Government. Okay, I'm going to. We'll give old John Key a call next and we'll ask them why everybody's telling me I should contact him. What does the Minister of Local MP going to do for me? How is the local minister going to do anything in regards to myself seeking redress over being run onto by Neil? Again, I'm not doing any of this for any sort of vindictiveness. I am doing this to find out how the system works, to put it to its points of interest and to its limits, to see what and where your hiccups are, Anybody that's seen the original clip on the 21st of November, where I go up and according to Neil's sworn testimony, where I chased him down the road. This is his sworn testimony. He states that I chased him down the road and sprawled. Yes, we were using graphic terms on stand, weren't we, Neil? We sprawled ourselves across the bonnet, putting the ticket under his wiper blade. Apparently that's what I did, and I was right with my presumption. He did stop on School Road and got the ticket out from under his wiper blade and then posted it in the afternoon that day. That's what he gave in sworn testimony that happened. So I was dead right. So, but again, you know, the ticket's done. That's those two issues are done and dealt with. You know, I ended up paying a fine, but boy, the fun. This is the best $215 that I've had to, through my person, ever spend in my lifetime. Because I'm having so much fun doing it. Anyway, enough of that. I'm now going to sign on the dotted line. In that capacity. Because I'm acting in that capacity, receiving the benefit. But at all times I'm a man. I might choose tomorrow to renounce my citizenship. Still a man. People need to snap that into their head, say, if you can make something not exist by the stroke of a pen, or make something exist by the stroke of a pen, then it doesn't really exist in the first place. You know, it's only the person's belief that that signature has some sort of strength behind it. Think about shit, man. You can go ahead and just follow like the rest of the sheep and blindly fucking go through life, or you can actually use that thing in between your fucking ears called a brain and you know, live life, mates. Enjoy life. Time's precious, you know. At least I'm having fun. I you know, in the days before I did this stuff, I sat there and just blindly watched TV shows, so my brain became numb. It was boring as fuck. I would love to go out and do work, but I can't do work without risking myself in some way. It's not really good for me to go climbing up ladders and installing satellite dishes or running through people's roofs, running cables, because if I have a seizure I'm fucked, you know. Now I get to look after my children and watch my kids grow up. Far nicer. And ironically, receiving a benefit, I'm actually making more money weekly than I did working 60 hours a week being a self-employed Sky installer. That's food for thought. It's a rigged game. I paid into the system for over 20 years as a standard voluntary tax servant, getting my own back, and I think that's fair. If you guys don't, opinions vary. Makes no fucking difference to me whatsoever. It's real simple, though. Anyway, guys, see you later.